Hello, YouTube. Okay, it is recording. But, hello, YouTube. Today, Cooler 2004 is presenting a chess lesson. The importance of knight to c3 and the French defense. Today, I'll be discussing why knight c3, and if you're not familiar with this move, is one of the best moves to make. I'll show you a variation that just shows how powerful it can become. So we'll play the classic Sicilian. E4, E5. That makes it not Sicilian. Sorry, guys. French defense. French defense. Did I say Sicilian? French defense. White takes the center. Well, he thinks he does. Black challenges. Now, right here is where white plays knight c3. In turn, normally they enter the modern opening, where he pushes the pawn here. Yep, that's showing it. I'm not used to this. This is chess-based light. I am definitely not used to it. I used to have frets 12, and I didn't ever make a video on that, apparently, because it would have been on YouTube or some other site. But this is a very well-rounded move. At the same time as protecting your pawn for the trade-off, it is also defending a check from the bishop, obviously. It does a number of things. Instead of pushing pawn to e5, which just gives them more room to make moves and just build up. Which, their trouble piece, of course, is the white bishop, which they want to trade off. That's why, from what my studies have showed, well, different books that I've studied that have proven this to me, the better than the French, because this dominates over the French. In most master games, majority of master games, white wins with this line right here. Well, that was back in 2009. I don't know what it is now, 2010. But the white bishop is the trouble piece for the French. There's a better opening that you can trade it off, and it's just more well-rounded and has better games against white. And that is the Carol Khan defense, the new opening I'm learning for black. Which is, it's a battle against e4. E4 is the most common move. And you start off with c6, going to d4. And there's just so many variations that lead after that. So, black, of course, plays bishop b4. Okay, it's showing very different, a lot of different options we have. For this line, you're going to want to not lose the pawn. See that queen move it's showing? Yeah, that wouldn't happen. That just wouldn't happen. I'm sorry, guys. You move the pawn up one. I'm just showing you the variation. Well, of course, in this variation, you are going to move the pawn to e5. Or else you lose a pawn. He will most likely push here. This is this is a very normal move in the French defense. You're not going to worry about this pawn. Yeah, that's classic. It's showing you the classic defense. Classic defense is right here. But, I mean, to push it. Yeah, to break the pen, which it doesn't. Well, it doesn't really break the pen. The better way of breaking the pen that I learned when I was studying the French defense for Chris Baum Memorial to face my arch nemesis David Coggins, who got a few buys, and he's played against this, and we learned how he played against it. He trades off the bishops, but go ahead and break the pen with the bishop. Now, pawn takes pawn. knight b5. And how most reserves players will play this, which I believe the correct move is this first, and you'll see why in a second. Well, I believe that. Okay, I'll show you that move. I believe instead of taking that pawn, he should have just sacked it and played this. It would have gave him a whole lot, a whole better position. But no, didn't work out like that. Let's cancel this. Let's go back up. Now the best move is, no, that's not the best move there. Sorry. This is not the best move either, but most reserve players will play this move. Bishop takes bishop, queen takes bishop. Now, knight will go for this move so his king can castle, but the king does not get a castle. Also, this is a good move for breaking up this outpost that white now has. Now, before you're thinking, wait a second, he can just kick him off the outpost with this move, right? Wrong. If you're thinking that, it's still check. Can't really do stuff like that. So, in my opinion, his best move is right here. This is what my teacher taught me before CBM. I'll go ahead and check you and start taking tempo. You can't castle and check, so he moves right here. My queen will go ahead and take, and we can just start building up ideas over here for pawn storm. This is how dominant the this opening tends to be. Well, let's say he thinks let's just go ahead and say I'm gonna make up a move just for the heck of it, just to show the different ideas we have. But this is a made up move. It's probably not gonna happen this way. Go ahead, push the pawn. Well, let's say he wants to challenge you. Challenge your pawn control right there. Your outpost. Well, that's not the way he's going to challenge it. This is why he made this move. His best way to challenge your outpost right now in this position, and it's very obvious, is why this was the best move for this line. Because now the knight is kind of forced to trade off. Yeah, no, he's not forced to. But the knights are going to trade off. I don't care how you like your cookies scrambled, but they are going to trade off. I think a good variation for this might be right here. This looks beautiful. Knight captures is now looking bad. So maybe I was wrong. I haven't played this in a while, guys. I just started playing in French on chess.com recently. I don't play too much serious chess. I try to get to tournaments every once in a while. When I did play serious chess, I got up to Class A. Playing strength, not rating, because I didn't play enough tournaments for that. I've only played like 3 tournaments. Knight takes knight looks bad now. Might not be, it probably is, because now that looks like a fork. That looks like a big fork in the road. He can dodge it, yes. But this just looks bad for black. So that's why you guys play knight c3. I'll go back to the moves real quick, just to show you guys this line and how the French opens up. E4, E5, E6, sorry. E4, E6, D4, D5, Knight C3. This is the best line, as I said before. Bishop B4. Pawn E5. Pawn C5. Bishop breaks pin at D2. Pawn takes pawn. Knight B5. Bishop takes bishop. Queen takes bishop. Knight to king 2. Well, for us it's king 7. But knight to king 2. Knight to queen 6. Check. Queen takes pawn. So I changed things a little. If you didn't understand, knight to king 2, knight to queen 6, that was descriptive annotation. And I've read so much of that because most of my chess books are very, very old. And that back when they used to use that annotation, like when I was studying Bobby Fischer's 60 Memorable Games, I could have sworn that was in that descriptive notation. They used to record like that, and I got so used to it. I can really swap between both, but for tournament, I tend to stick with the simple one, which is the new modern version of what they had. Okay, let's take Josh Weiskin for example. This pawn is at F7. Let's say it moves into en passant at F5. F5. We're just assuming. The annotation would read, there's 3 different annotations. It would either read F5, the new one, F7, F5, F7 dash F5. That means you're moving a piece and capturing. Or it would read bishop, pawn to bishop 3. Well, if you know descriptive, you understand that the only reason I'm saying pawn to bishop 3 instead of pawn to king's bishop 3 is because there's no pawn at queen's bishop 3. There's no pawn on the queen bishop rook. Queen bishop rook. Queen bishop file. Ranks and files. So, this is the end of that lesson. I hope I didn't take up I probably did take up a lot of your time if you watched this video, but I hope it was beneficial to you guys, learning this opening, learning what you guys can play against the French, if you guys have trouble with the French. If you love playing the French, look out for this opening, and if you are a solid 1600, 1500 player, you've probably seen this opening quite a few times. So, don't be surprised when somebody pulls it out on you. And you guys have a good day.